Namaskaram and a very good evening. So we had done multiple videos. Probably this is slightly relaxing than others. That's how it feels. But for me, it's just a comma because a lot more has to be accomplished in terms of the overall objective of why you are here. I want to put a very perspective very clearly in your mind. If you remember every given attempt, this is exactly what you have been doing. Accelerating your preparation in the last 1 month or 2 months, and then exams are done, and until results, nothing happens. And this is unique only in our course. Regular college, even in 10th, if half-yearly exams are done, you go to the school the next day, right? It just keeps on going on. Your father works almost every day in a year. Your mother works every day in a year. So from now onwards, it is very important for you to understand that things have to change. Now that you are here, things have to change. So first of all, I'll remind you why you are here. Clearing CA in one attempt or 1 year. Now the reason why I say one attempt or 1 year is because some of you choose to write only one group. And as always, if you look at CA results, it could be 5%, 7%, 10%. And when I talk about percentages, as we always say, your results are a responsibility. And once a super student, you're always a super student. So whatever you have done and leave it. Results are my responsibility. Whether they happen or not, don't worry. I'll talk to your parents. I'll take care. You don't have to worry about the results. Either way, we'll make your CA and send you from here. Okay. This is the first step. Now the second step is start earning 1 lakh per month. This is the second and important step. Now I want to focus on this for a while. You identify this guy? Yeah. So Suresh comes from a very humble family. When I say humble family, his father used to make around probably $400-500 per day. Yeah, that was their annual income at that point of time. And right now, this guy is the only chartered accountant from his family community, probably village and everywhere. And their family income grew 30 times from where it is. Now, again, when the denominator is very low, you can always look at that X. But wherever your point is, it is important that you level it up. Now, the game is not about money, but I'm trying to help you understand that you have to start taking responsibility for taking up your family from where it is to where it has to go. Okay, so this is the second part. When I say second part, when you have to start making money, it has got nothing to do with your qualification. I don't make money because I'm a chartered accountant. It helps ancillarily, but it is because of something else, right? So this is what you have to start thinking about. So don't get into that holiday mode as if you won a world war or something. So you'll take rest. We'll take care of that. Everything will happen, but don't slide away and slip away. So that is the reason why I'm demanding a second object. Now the third and most important objective, the reason why we have set up this HLS is, I'm sharing you some sheets with you. Okay, so please have a quick look. So go through the years, go through the university. So what I'm showing you is the list of Ivy League universities, the world's most popular universities which people want to go to. If you know, what do you notice when you go through all of that? Any observation? Any observation from that? If I'm showing this to you, what do you notice? What do you notice? Anything common among them? What do you notice? What do you notice? Quick observations. Quick observations. Yes, that's one thing. Karthik is right. Okay. Everything is out of India. And what else? What else? Absolutely. They're ancient, right? It has been 400 years, right? So they have been built, and what do? They extract a family's lifelong income for one course. You go there, it takes at least once a year. I think some of your cousins or friends would have gone there. So what is happening is brain drain. Now the top-notch guys are going there. Not only that, intellectual drain. Apart from that, it's a huge financial uplift from India to some other countries. They're worth it. I'm not saying they're not worth it, but the point is at some point of time, we have to bring back the high quality education back to India, where we had Nalanda and Takshila universities in second and third century AD. And the vision which we have is people all across the world should come here. When I say him 11, there are 11 of you. When I say him 100, I want 100 people from 100 different countries coming and studying in India. That is exactly my vision. So when you look at this, each of the university has given some expertise. Now, to the last column, I mentioned something. Why do we exist? You can go through that. I just shared why do we exist. So in most of the universities, you go and you finish one course. You go and you finish one course. Here, I'm talking about a complete and all-round transformation. When I talk about it, if you spend 3 months with us, you'll become a super student. When I say a super student, when you go and write an exam, when you walk back, you won't feel that sense of regret. You'll be like, largely, this is almost what I could have done. Like, there is always scope for improvement. When you come back, when you're walking back out of the examination center, most likely this will be a best attempt. And also, you'll feel that nothing could have done better. Like, scope for improvement is there for you, there for me, is always there. But largely, super student, from a struggling student to super student, that is a journey. This is about exams. The next part is, when I say life scholar, the other part is life scholar. When I say life scholar, super student is a 3 month thing, life scholar is a 3 year thing, because you have to become someone. It's not just a 3 month hobby or a 3 month pastime where you live in a certain way. It has to become a part of you. Career is a 30-year game for which you need a 3 year foundation. So for that to happen, you have to take care of all of these aspects. Now, I'm bringing you a very interesting concept called middle class millionaire. When I say middle class millionaire, this particular class have very strong roots, especially in family system, in education, in culture, values. Now, when you're born a millionaire, largely the upbringing is very different, and people do not know what to do because they don't have an incentive. Now, we work with certain people of that category also. They don't have a purpose of life because everything is there. They don't know what to chase. They don't know why they wake up and why they exist, largely for most of them, unless they're driven. So this is a unique category where you can conserve how you have been brought up, and you can change the class of living for your parents in this generation. Normally the class upgrade will take 20-30 years, but if you decide, there is a possibility that you can actually do it within this generation. So for that to happen, you need to have an holistic understanding of life. When I say holistic understanding of life, I'm talking about 360 degrees. So first one, what you're fixing right now is your career. If you get a qualification, your career starts with qualification. Qualification is only an entry point. The next thing comes skills. The next thing comes network. You need to have an comprehensive base of all of this: qualification, skills, and network. Now that you're done work for qualification, next, before your results are out, you focus on these two things. When it comes to career, what are the skills which you have to pick up? It is a continuous process. Again, I'm not asking you not to take rest. I'm not asking you not to relax, but I'm putting a perspective because you are in a zone. You are in a very, I would say, aggressive and effective zone. Normally, what would take 4 days to do something, you're doing that in one day right now. So it is important for you to know what is the scope of the next things. Okay, this is about a qualification. Now, when it comes to relations, one thing which most of you are facing a problem is this: the relationship within you is not established properly. If this is not there, you struggle in one-to-one relations. You struggle in one-to-many. These are the only two relations within yourself: one-to-one, one-to-many. Now, to be frank, had you built a good relation within yourself, you don't need this. The idea is not to make you dependent on us. The idea is to make you rebuild relation within you. So this is where a lot of work is required. Lot of work is required. Unless this is done, other person, they cannot respect you unless you are sorted. Please understand that. This is primarily very important for all of you. Okay, you have to start working on this. There is a structured process for this. Then one to one, at any given point of time, if you're talking to someone, you should be able to engage them. You should be able to solve their problem. You should be able to engage a fellow human being, no matter what capacity. It could be an article assistant or a Big Four partner. You should have the ability to engage a person one to one, any gender, any given point of time. This is very important. Next is one to many. So it could be 10 people, 4 people, 5 people, because when you have to work in a team, you have to work on this dynamics. Okay. So these are the two aspects which you have to work, both in terms of personal and professional capacity. Now moving on to health. Now one thing which you have to heavily focus is on your emotional health. When I say emotional health, when a situation is changing, when a situation is shifting, it is impacting you. Probably a different question, a difficult question, something changing in the examination center, a small twist. Are you making a simple mistake is impacting you significantly, which means you're not yet building your emotional resilience. Mental is intellectual, that's what we're building here. And physical, yes, you know what to do about this. Now coming to wealth, once again, first is your recurring income. You have to start making a continuous recurring income, which is not just dependent on a qualification. Probably with your skills, you start working on this. And you have to build some tangible assets. When I say tangible assets, your land, house, all of that. And you have to have one intangible asset, because intangible asset is going to make a lot of difference. Let's say, now this is our intangible asset. When I say this copyright, we hold an intellectual property right. Tangible asset, now if you want to buy this house, we are renting this out right now. If you want to buy this house, probably it's 2.6 a year. 5 years down the line, it will become probably 3.5 crore. Now today, this is valued X. 5 years down the line, it is something else. So if you want to achieve significant growth, leapfrogging growth in your life, you need to have access to one intangible asset, whatever it is. It is based on largely a process, a brand, anything. Okay, you focus on building one intangible asset. So this is the scope of the next scheme of things which you should start paying attention to. You should start paying attention to. This is not too early in life, but this is the right time for you to start thinking. Okay, so this is the scope of work which you have to look at, and eventually this will help you get to this $1 million per year in the next 10 to 12 years. When I say 10 to 12 years, that will give you a lot of possibilities for you to do. Even if you want to do charity, even if you want to do anything in life, you have to get to a point where this becomes a possibility in the next 10 to 12 years. Okay, so this is what I wanted you to have a perspective, understand you're physically tired, mentally tired, the need to sleep, the need to eat food, the need to take a break, and all of that is there. But it's a conscious choice. It's a conscious choice. The way you lived for the last 3 months, the way you lived for the last 3 months, if you're able to do it for 3 more years, your life is sorted and settled. If you don't do this, if you do not have the ability to continue this for 3 years, the problem is you'll have to go through this 3 month periods multiple times. Let's say you work with Big Four, busy season, multiple times. You want to start your practice, tax season, multiple times. In any MNC, the audit season, multiple times. So one time you do this properly, that will significantly change the way your life forever. Okay. So I wanted you to get a perspective on this, and this concludes this part of the discussion. And the second part, yes, this is the lighter conversation about what we are going to do in the next 24 hours. Okay. Hope you got this. Again, this is loaded, but I wanted to add it when you're actually in the serious frame of mind. Okay, I hope this is clear, and I'll also discuss this one-on-one once we get to a different point. But right now, this is the scope of the engagement. And finally, I want to remind you of this once again: clearing CA in 1 attempt and 1 year, and start making 1 lakh per month with your skills, and then talking about creating a path to create a network of $1 million per year. Okay, so this is about it. Thanks for recording.